I have incontinentia pigmenti and I have one eye. I was born with a scar across my retina, which caused my retina to detach. The pain in that eye, I don't think I could put it into words. I kind of thought, like, why is this happening to me? Since having it removed, I feel so much more confident in myself. I just thought, why not post about it? People love seeing the eye come out. They tend to do the best, the videos, if I have an eye out. I've got my people. I've found these communities. It's amazing to be different, but it's kind of even nicer to be different in a group. Oh. This prosthetic, as you can see, it's molded in the shape of my eye socket. It's kind of like a fingerprint. Every single person has a different shaped socket. I was born with IP, which is incontinentia pigmenti. I'm blind in one eye now. I've since had it removed. I now have a prosthetic. I do have to clean it quite often. I usually do it every couple of days just to make sure, and also make sure it's nice and shiny so that it twinkle in the eye. They look amazing, and the details in them is incredible. And that's it. Usually you would do your eye makeup and look with the other eye. I can't do that. So I usually have to close both eyes and kind of guess. I quite literally just have had to learn. Incontinentia pigmenti affects your eyes, skin, nails and teeth. First symptoms were the skin lesions, so they presented as warts, rashes. When they discovered there was something wrong with my eye, they had quite extensive testing to see what the issue was. They found out that I actually had a scar across my retina, which is kind of from the lesions. So I was blind in that eye from birth. My pupil got very, very big, and it almost looked like a goat's eye at one point, and then it turned white. I think my first surgery, I was 5, and I remember thinking, why am I going to do this? Nobody else has to do this. Then when I was about 16, I had retinal detachment, and that's where the scar actually came loose from the back of my eye. It was kind of floating around. The pain in that eye, I don't think I could put it into words. And I remember sitting in the back of the car, all of my muscles were like tense, and I kind of felt like my whole soul was being ripped out of my face. I went to the doctors the next day and they were just like, this is crazy. The pressure in your eye was about 82. It's supposed to be within like 12 to 21. So it could actually have exploded. It was kind of like, well, why is everybody else just getting around, just living their best life, and I'm going to the doctors like 3 times a day? It just seemed so dramatic at the time. Hang on. So I've had my prosthetic for just over a year now, so it's still pretty fresh. I wanted my eye removed not long after they were attempting to fix the retinal detachment. Unfortunately, they do not just do that for any old reason, so it took about 10 years for me to get that done. I did truly feel like I couldn't start my life. I'd stopped doing all these things that I loved because I truly felt that I couldn't. When I turned 25, I finally found a doctor that just said to me, well, if this is what you want, let's do it. And there I was, I had it out 10 years after the fact. Directly after the surgery, the pain was horrible, and I started to second guess every decision that I'd ever made to have that removal. But from there, I started to get so much better, and I've never looked back ever since then. Through the healing phase, actually, she's very comforting. So cats can usually tell when there's something wrong, and she definitely stuck by me. So the days where I just laid in bed all day long. It's interesting how pets pick up on different cues, especially with health conditions. So I'll only film a TikTok if I think of something funny, or if something comes to me, something that may be relatable for somebody else with one eye or something like that. What made me start posting my condition was probably seeing other people post about it. For so many years of my life, I didn't know anybody that had it. So once I started reaching out to like different community pages and saw that there were more people talking about it, like, I've got my people. I posted one video and it did get quite a lot of views, almost 10 million. Which is a crazy amount of people. People love seeing the eye come out. They tend to do the best, the videos, if I have an eye out. If you don't laugh, you will cry about some of these things. I don't care if everybody's laughing at me, it's a bit of fun. Social media when I was 15, 16 was quite harsh, and people could anonymously make comments. Someone said to me like, why don't you just shut up about all of your problems? Like, no one cares. Kind of thing. It would have been nice back then to have the communities that I have now. It's amazing to be different, but it's kind of even nicer to be different in a group.
Hello. How you going?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you. Hi, darling.
Oh, love you. Come on in. I love you too. Come take a seat. My mum and my sister have IP as well. My mum was born with it in the 60s.
Nobody knew what it was when I was born. There was doctors coming from all over the place to stare at me. I grew out of it at a very young age. And then Terry came along, and it wasn't until 3 days after she was born that the redness started to appear on her legs and her arms and everything. And I went, oh no. I was devastated, devastated.
Hello.
When we found out that Terry was actually blind in that eye, like, I tend to blame myself all the time. Oh, this is my fault. But there's nothing I could have done to stop it.
What about when I got my eye out? What were your feelings?
All I could do was cry. I was a wreck leading up to her getting her eye out. It's actually just a little bit over 12 months since she's had her eye out, and she hasn't looked back.
Knowing what I know now, it's never as bad as you're going to make it in your head. And you get through it. I'm 35 and I'm married and I've got kids and I'm working in my dream career, and yes, I've got this wrong with me, but it has had no effect on anything else in my life.
How proud are you of Terry?
Oh, very proud.
I'm always telling her how proud I am of her. Whatever obstacles in her way, she's like, right, let's just move that over there and let's go.
I feel like I've come a very long way in terms of being happy within myself and overcoming all the things that have popped up in time. I think I've grown a lot from that. I hope to inspire people who are feeling different so that they can celebrate their uniqueness. Having my eye removed was the best decision I have ever made in my entire life, and being able to be comfortable within myself, that is the main goal, and it's definitely helped me succeed with that.
We have 2 trans kids.
Anyone can be whoever they want.
I'm just owning it.
Our family is seen to be very unconventional.
So I had kids and I can't be hot anymore. Like, moms are hot too.
People say I look like a thug, but I love thugs. I take that as a compliment.
I'm bored of people thinking that I cannot be intimate. I'm a young, single, hot piece of disabled booty.
I feel like I'm going to look at myself and be like, who is that?
Life is way too short to be hiding. It is my story, it is my truth.